You've tried every productivity hack, the Pomodoro technique, the $15 planner, the 6 a.m. cold plunge, and yet by 2 p.m. you're exhausted. You have all the time in the world, but zero main character energy to use it. The problem isn't your time. It's your energy, because energy is the resource that turns time into results. Hello, driven professionals, and welcome back to the channel where we tackle major challenges in your personal and professional lives. Today, I'm going to show you how to maximize your time using 2 energy management strategies, such as using a digital detox menu to take a break from your electronics and structuring your day using the energy block method. Oh, and stick around to the end because I'm going to share a questionnaire with you that will help you to determine if you're a morning, midday, or evening person so that you will know when your energy levels are high, medium, and low throughout the day. It's called Understanding Your Chronotype. All right, ambitious professionals, let's do this. Now, let's look at the digital energy hacks, but let's get creative and call this section the digital detox menu. So here are some ideas for digital breaks. Let's look at level 1 and call it the snack. So this is the 10-minute phone jail. Lock your phone in a drawer for 10 minutes while doing a specific task. Now for level 2, let's call this the meal. You can do app batching, meaning check social media and email only at specific times during the day. For example, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., but never check your social media or emails anytime between those 2 times. And there is level 3. We're going to call this the feast. Now, this is known as the 24-hour digital Sabbath. So you only do this once a month. So take a full day break from the digital apps for deep mental recovery. But you can also do a notification overhaul, meaning turn off 90% of notifications because they can be energy vampires. Only allow direct calls or texts from key contacts. When do you do your best work during the day? Morning, afternoon, or evening? Let me know in the comments. And remember that at the end of this video, I'm going to give you information about quizzing yourself to find out the answer to that question. Now, let's talk about structuring your day. The idea is, instead of creating a to-do list based on urgency, create an energy block schedule. So here's an example. Once again, instead of just listing tasks based on what feels most urgent, you're going to structure your entire day around your natural energy fluctuations. Think about it. We all have times of day when we feel super focused and sharp, and other times when our brain just feels a bit fuzzy. So let's break it down into 3 key energy blocks. Let's look at the high energy block. This is your peak chronotype hours. What does that mean? It's when you naturally feel most alert, most focused, and have the highest mental clarity. For many people, this might be first thing in the morning, but it could be later in the day for night owls like me. The crucial point is to identify your personal peak. But during this high energy block, you're going to tackle what we call deep work. This is the heavy lifting. Things like writing complex reports, strategizing for your business, or any task that demands intense, uninterrupted mental focus, like speaking before colleagues. These are the tasks that move the needle forward significantly, but are often pushed aside when you're just reacting to urgent demands. But don't waste your peak brain power on easy tasks. Once again, this is for the deep work. Okay, so next up, we have our medium energy block. So these are typically the hours immediately before or after your peak chronotype. Your energy is still good, but perhaps not at its absolute sharpest for intense concentration. So this block is suited for communication and maintenance tasks. Think about your emails, making calls, attending meetings where you're not expected to lead them, or even running important errands. These tasks require social energy or a moderate level of mental engagement. but they don't demand the same kind of deep, uninterrupted focus as your deep work. By slotting them here, you're not sacrificing your prime deep work hours. Finally, we have the low energy block. This usually coincides with the dip in your day, that afternoon slump, or towards the very end of your workday. Your mental energy is naturally lower, and trying to force deep work here is often unproductive and frustrating. This is the perfect time for trivial or administrative tasks. Things like invoicing, scheduling appointments, tidying up your physical or digital workspace, or even planning out your tasks for the next day. These are important tasks, but they require almost no mental energy. They can often be done on autopilot, freeing up your higher energy hours for what truly matters. You see, the beauty of the energy block method is that it allows you to work with your natural biological rhythms, not against them. By strategically allocating your task based on your energy levels, you'll find yourself more productive, less stressed, and ultimately getting more meaningful work done. So I encourage you to try it out. Take some time to observe your own energy throughout the day. Identify your high, medium, and low energy blocks, and then start scheduling your task accordingly. I think you'll be amazed at the difference it makes. Now remember, I said to stick around until the end so that you can understand your chronotype. You see, we are all not built for the same schedule. This is the most crucial first step in your energy management. There are 3 main chronotypes: your body's natural preference for when you like to sleep, and more importantly, when you have peak energy. So they're named after 3 animals, so you can figure out what type you are and start planning your day for maximum productivity. Okay, so the first chronotype is the lion. These people are the early birds. These folks wake up ready to go. Their power hours are 8 a.m. to noon. And if you're a lion, your brain is sharpest in the morning. So that's when you tackle your most challenging work. The next is the bear. This is about 60% of the population. You see, if you're a bear, your energy mirrors the sun. You're productive from mid-morning to mid-afternoon. But everyone's favorite midday slump is around 2 p.m. Sometimes that's when our energy dips. And then there's the wolf, or what we call the night owls. Forget the early alarm. Wolves are often groggy in the morning. Their cognitive energy really starts to ramp up after lunch, and they hit their peak productivity in the late afternoon and evening. Now, let's look at the chronotype quiz. It's called the Morningness-Eveningness Questionnaire. And you can take this free quiz immediately after the video. Once you know your type, you can stop forcing yourself to do lion work during the wolf hours. And the link for the quiz is in the description below. But here are some examples of questions you will find on this quiz. For example, what time would you get up if you were entirely free to plan your day? You see, I'm comfortable with 7:45 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. The next thing is, how alert do you feel during the first half hour after you wake up in the morning? For me, the answer is fairly alert. And then another question on this quiz is, you want to be at your peak performance for a test that you know is going to be mentally exhausting and will last for 2 hours. You are entirely free to plan your day. Considering only your own internal clock, which one of the 4 testing times would you choose? I would choose 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You see, you're starting to see by my answers that I'm not a morning person. So remember, you have to work with your body's wiring, not against it. Your energy is not a limited resource. It's a dynamic resource that needs intentional refueling. So drop a comment and tell me, are you a lion, a bear, or a wolf? And if this helped and you feel less burned out, hit like and subscribe for more productivity hacks. My dear ambitious professionals, take care until the next video.